going on, people? This can be a long video. So I got a new knife in, and it is a video I've done. It's a knife I did a couple videos on already. Pretty excited about it. It's the old Civivi. I don't know how you pronounce it. Like, let's see if I can get this thing to focus here. I don't know how you say it. Dang, it's cold in here. It's getting to be kind of the midway through January. Actually, the end of January here. Buck 119, baby, making an entrance. All right, let's see. Pocket check. So I got a Case Stockman. Oh man, look at that bad boy. This is probably one of my oldest case knives. Got this brand new. I just did the spay modification on it the other night. Look at that. Let me tell you, spay blade is just about useless for me. Gotta have a little bit of a tip. Of course, ironically, this utility knife blade does not have a tip on it. So what I need to do is kind of take it down. I've had this knife so long, I've had it before I knew what I was doing with knives. So it has some damage, but I carry it. It makes me happy. It's an old stag. It's not bone stag. It's a real deal Holyfield stag. All right. Nothing against bone stag. What do I got? I got my old Gerber Propel Auto. Carried through this through a deployment. I'll do a video on that someday. Oh, what do we got in this pocket? We got a, I can't tell if it's focusing or not. We got a, this is my newest case knife. This is kind of cool. It's a 3-bladed Stockman, but one of the blades is not a blade. It's got a punch. And I've never seen that before in a case knife. I think it's an old pattern, but this thing is smooth, man. It's carbon steel, whatever that is, right? Whatever their carbon steel is. Yeah, they actually did all right on the back of it. Quality control is fine on this. I'm not upset about it. It's got some good snap. It's got a really nice main blade on here. Does all right. I haven't given it the old official treatment yet for sharpening, but I've got a serviceable edge on there. I've been carrying it around, cutting apples for my daughter and stuff. So the only thing is, if you shut the utility knife blade, it'll catch, or excuse me, the punch will catch right there on the utility knife blade. So I try to shut that first, and then close your utility knife blade. I don't know. You know how it is with these Stockmans, man. It's hard for them to get them going. Okay, anyway, this knife, this is the one that I'm doing the sharpening on tonight. Kind of want to see how it's going to do. So I'm not going to edit this video. I'm just going to let it roll real time. This is a cool knife my dad bought me driving across country. I'm pretty sure it's carbon steel, but I can't really tell. Anyway, this is Ben Peterson's knife, one of his knives. Look how pretty that is. He's made a few, but anyway, this is called the Sendy, but this is not the spay blade version. I was going to buy the spay blade because it was modeled, the colors were modeled after a Coleman stove, which I use all the time. I love Coleman stoves, but this is the only one they had in stock when I saw his like little video. Ben Peterson, did I say his name? I think it's really cool. It doesn't weigh anything. It's super tiny. It's super smooth. It's got these real textured micarta handles. There's one with G10, but I'm a micarta fan, so liner lock, made in China, don't care, whatever. It's a flipper, man. So it's like, I don't know. And I failed to mention the other day a couple things about it. Number one, it has a true full flat grind. So it's not like, not only is it full flat grind, but it's like super thin. It doesn't get thicker. Well, it gets a little thicker back here, but not much. It's designed, he said it was to like cut apples better or something. Not that I care about the factory edge, but factory edge is all right. It's not too bad. I think most people would be happy with that. I'm not. These Mexican Cokes, man, that's what's up. So, coming up soon, I'm gonna, oh, I meant to mention deep carry pocket clip, but I forgot to mention this in the other couple videos. It comes with a toothpick, which this is metal, so you use it for just like a point for whatever you need. And also tweezers for the trail, for those jumping cactuses is what he said in the desert. But man, that's so cool. I love this kind of stuff, and I think every knife should have a pair of tweezers and a toothpick. It makes me super happy that this, I think it's like a backpacking knife is what it is, because it's really, really tiny. But I can't explain how grippy this is. Like this is, it just feels really good. And this knife was $63. So, sorry, I'm drinking a lot of Coke tonight. It's the wife and I and the baby have all been sick, so. Anyway, without further ado, let's get this thing sharp. So, you know the drill. I think since it's a backpacking knife, what I might do is order the spade blade version of it and take it backpacking, or at least camping overnight, and do a field sharpening video on it with just like a pocket stone and a leather strop. One of my favorite strops is one that's made by the same company, the Ben Peterson company. It's called KNAF, like a knife. Hey, I like your pocket knife. Or KNAF. Is that right? I don't know, I'm saying it wrong, but ain't this a cool pouch? I know I already mentioned that. I gotta turn on my backlight here. Got this Olight Marauder 2. One of my problems is the only time I get any free time, because I'm in school and I have a 2-year-old and I have a full-time job, is at night. So the lighting is horrible. All right, we got our butt wipes right here. We're definitely gonna do 15 degrees on this one because it's such a thin blade. Got a new Pipes and Cigars magazine. I would smoke a pipe tonight, and I still might, but I'm worried because I just got over COVID, so it's like, do I really want to tempt the virus? So, another thing about this knife is it doesn't have a thumb stud. One of the problems with my Osborne 940 is the thumb studs used to hit until I grinded them down. Grind them down. All right, let's see how this does. These are the diamond stones. And it doesn't really have much of a shelf right here either. So it's almost like it's perfect for this sharpening system. So that makes me happy. My goal is to make this video as long as possible. As long and boring as possible. So many times you see people do these sharpening videos and there's like a pause in the middle and they come back and the knife's sharp and it's like, hold on a second, buddy. Which I just realized I didn't bring any of my strops up here, so I don't know. We might have to do that as well, but it'll be pretty sharp before we start stropping. Actually, I'm gonna go get my strops right now, so I'm not that guy. All right, so one of the things about Ben Peterson is I think he's into backpacking or camping or something. So check this out. I didn't even know this is his company. That's the logo for the company. But anyway, it's just this tiny little like keychain strop. Comes with a stropping compound. I mean, compared to a full-size strop, look how tiny that is. Focus. Focus. Man, everybody wanting to be YouTube stars and they're just recording on their phones. It's terrible. Including me. But anyway, this is kind of cool. You know, if you're in the field, you know, I haven't used it a lot, but all right, let's see here. We're going to kind of work that tip. I don't want to roll it off a lot. Another thing I didn't bring in here was my old man glasses to show me how we're doing on this edge. We're just gonna have to do it the old way. Nope, we're not. I'm gonna go get those two. All right, we're back. Like I said before, we want this to be as long and boring as possible. Boring old man. All right. This side is it's pretty good. I usually sharpen in my basement. So when I come out here, a lot of times I don't have the stuff I need. So what I was doing for a while was I was kind of putting everything in like one of these things. So that's probably what I'll do when I leave the garage tonight, is just kind of throw everything in one of those. I'm gonna have to smoke my pipe. It's gonna drive me nuts. Sorry guys. If you're not a pipe person, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you don't get to enjoy that on a daily basis. If you're worried about it causing cancer, well, it probably does. So you're probably pretty smart. Just stay away from it. I don't know where anything is. Oh man. My Zippos are all out of fluid because I haven't been smoking this week. My wife, she's always got these hemp things laying around. This thing looks like a freaking sex toy. That is not the vibe I'm going for on this channel, y'all. It's actually like an old aluminum. Okay, are we good? No. Come on, baby. All right. Back to work. This side's gonna fight me. This side's coming along. This is called Nitro V steel. I don't know if it means Nitro 5. A lot of times people are new pipe smokers on YouTube, and one of the struggles with new pipe smokers is keeping a pipe lit. And I get asked sometimes by people that are kind of new to it, man, these are wet. All right. I get asked, hey, how do I keep my pipe lit? And I can tell you, there's a lot of different ways, but the biggest way is moisture content. But also, to be honest with you, if you buy like Prince Albert or Carter Hall or something, you're probably not really going to have a problem. It has so much PG and stuff in it that it's going to be fine. You wouldn't tell now by going to Walmart or Walgreens or something. But back in the day, man, when I was growing up, you could find this stuff right here, you could find anywhere. And I mean anywhere for like $5. Now you can't buy it. You can't even buy that at Walmart. Cause smoking's bad for you. But Prince Albert will stay lit. You know what I'm saying? Like that party. Party in your pipe, man. Stays lit. Alright, I think this is Dirty Stone. Yeah. So technically this is considered reprofiling this knife, because this is not the factory bevel. Just so you know, that's why it takes this long. But from now on, once it's reprofiled, I'm not really going to have to do this very often. I'll just kind of hit it in the morning with strop or on a fine stone. The good news is it's kind of a uniform bevel, so that's good. Sometimes you have to get like a lot in one area, like towards the back or towards the tip. This is going pretty uniform. What I'll probably do is just kind of get one side done, and I can shift to the other side. It's my grandpa's Zippo from the 70s, man. In case you didn't know, Zippos are brass. And then they chrome plate them. But his chrome plate is all like worn off. All right. This side is almost done. This side is a little bit from the back and a little bit from the front. You can kind of feel it, actually. How nasty that is. Are we focused? Yeah, we're focused. Just got a real little area right here and right on the tip that needs to come down. It's actually looking pretty good. I can tell it doesn't want that 15-degree angle. It wants a 20-degree angle. But it's such a thin blade, man. You can't tell probably, but this pipe is actually still lit. You can't tell. We'll fire back up. All right. Let's get back to work, boys. I love when people talk about freehand sharpening. And I'm like, cool, man. Like, you do you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got mad respect from me. I did it for years. But the way I see it is it's hard enough like this. And this is where I don't even have to worry about the angle. All I gotta do is just go straight down. Still takes forever. We've been working on this, what, 13 minutes? Wish you could see it. You probably can't. I doubt you can see it, but Like just a little bit at the tip and then a little bit at the back. All right. I have a feeling that this knife is going to be really sharp. Look at that. How nasty that is. There's white. I just, something about this heat treat. It feels like it's going to be nasty. That back, man. See if I can show you here what I'm talking about. All right, this is the side that's good. This is the side I'm working on. If I don't cut my dang hand off here. See how that's not quite even? We're good, we're good, we're good. And just a little bit there at the end. All right. This is not gonna. There we go. Anyway. Back to work. It's always some little part that fights me. Tip's about right. All right, we're gonna hit both sides. See if this thing evens out a little bit. Okay. Side's good. I think we're about ready. I'm gonna hit these corners here. You don't want to rush this. If it ain't right, it ain't right. I'm just telling you. Because what happens is, you'll get to the next stone, and most of the knife will be real sharp, except for the point that you didn't finish on. And then it's like, oh, I gotta go back. Boop. Oh man, she wants to. But I can see that ink from the magic marker right on the edge. Did we get it? Oh, I think we got it. We got it. We got it. All right, we got it. It's freaking awesome, man. Okay. Next up, we got Mr. Brownstone. Oh, yeah, baby. What are we at? 19, 20 minutes, something like that? Hearth and home, baby. That's what's up. Come on. These stones are where you make your money. These brown ones. These feel kind of dirty, but these are the ones that you can really feel the knife on. Like right here, it feels smooth. Until it gets right about there, and I start getting resistance. Now we're talking. Okay. Oh man, she cleaned up real good. That tip is nasty. All right. How's she cutting? Good. Can we turn it? We get them turnips? All right. Okay, so now it's time for Strop City, baby. Thanks for sticking with me. I know it's boring. That's why I named the channel Boring Old Man, because it's like, what is this old guy doing on here sharpening knives? People talk a lot of crap, man. I don't know why there's so many haters out there. People are like, oh, that's not how I do. Oh, you should never. Oh, you should always. I had a guy the other day that said, you should never play with a loaded gun. And I'm like, or no, he said, you should never play with guns in the comments. And I'm like, I'm sorry you feel that way, dude. I completely disagree. That's one of my favorite things in the world to do is play with guns. Then another guy was like, you should always treat a gun like it's loaded, boy. I guess you don't do many dry fire exercises. It must suck going to the range and shooting your gun and then just standing there. Because why would you reload a loaded gun? If you always treat it like it's loaded, I guess you don't need to reload. I guess when you shoot all the bullets out of it, you just go put it in your holster and carry it around because you don't need to reload because it's always loaded. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. People are haters. Hater potatoes. Trying to get right with the Lord right now in my life, and I'm trying to not answer those people because I know it's just my pride. But I have a lot of thoughts that go through my mind, like, why do you think I don't know what I'm talking about? And I know that's just pride. But then I'm like, why does my video injure your manhood so much? Just make a video on your own, man. Tell all the people you want to. Like, they'll be like, oh, that's not how I do it. And then I'll go to their channel and there's no videos. I'm like, well, how do you do it? You just like to say negative things, man. I don't know. Everybody's different. That's why we got the First Amendment. You can say all the negative stuff you want, boys. And my wife's like, don't even acknowledge them, man. And I don't, because I don't really care. Like, more than anything, I just kind of feel bad for them. Okay. 2 strops. A tail of 2 strops. If you're looking for a good pipe tobacco, I'll tell you, you don't need to look much further than this right here. It is flippin' surprising how good it is. This is gonna be a sharp knife, boys. Woo! That is getting sharp. Dang, man. Dang, son. What's next on Pipes and Cigars catalog? Oh, come on. We got Orlick Golden Slice, one of my favorite tobaccos. Aaron Moore Flake, probably my favorite tobacco. I don't know what these other ones are. I've never had 3 Nuns. Never had any of this stuff. Oh, man. You know, there's not many videos of this knife out right now. If Ben Peterson is watching, Ben from Blade HQ, that guy, I think you designed a really cool knife, man. There is a competitive option. Walmart makes a knife by Swiss Tech, their brand or whatever. I just got one. It was like $29 at Walmart. I suspect it's going to be pretty good, but it's still not as refined as this knife. It doesn't have the tweezers. But like the blade shape on this one is just better. Look at that. Oh man. Will she turn? Right there. Yeah, she'll turn. Alright. Let's get her all stropped up here. We do green. I can't wait to take this thing backpacking, man. I bet this thing could rip through some MREs or freeze-dried stuff. If you guys ever have a freeze-dried meal that's worth anything, that's any good at all, let me know. Because I can tell you with all certainty and truth that in my life, I'm 45 years old, I have never had a freeze-dried meal that was any good at all. They're always terrible. I've tried them all, man. I've tried chili mac. You know, they'll try to put like all the exotic, like Asian, Thailand food or something of the Himalayas or whatever. And it's like, it's always just a bunch of noodles and water. And you can put hot sauce and pepper and salt and stuff in it, but it's always like gross, man. Like I'd rather just carry an MRE. Jeez. So one of my favorite things, the reason I actually bought this knife was because I like how thin and flat the blade is. And Ben from, keep wanting to call him Ben from Blade HQ. The guy who designed this knife, KNAF, he was talking about how well it cuts apples because it has a super thin blade. So that's good. I should have brought an apple out here, but I've already had plenty to eat today. My daughter loves apples. She's 2. Now we're in what's called, what I like to call, really dang sharp. So you better be careful, because just barely touching the blade, you're gonna get cut. Like I got the blade a second ago while I was in the beginning stages of sharpening, and I don't think it did anything to me. Factory edges are usually pretty worthless. And that's okay, because an edge is a very personal thing. It always cracks me up when people say, all right, I'm gonna do a knife review, and they're like, they just got it out of the box, and then they're like, oh, it's real sharp. You know, they'll put on Amazon, oh, that knife is sharp. I like it. It's a good knife. It's sharp. It's like, come on, man. That's your job to sharpen it. Oh, yeah, baby. Anyway, takes a real good edge. I think we're about done. If you want to see, so here's a knife that's not that sharp. Where's that knife I had earlier? So here's that case knife. I haven't sharpened this in years. Actually, it did all right, but you can still hear it. How much louder it is. It's more tearing the paper. I mean, it'll still get it done, but Not like this. Get a new piece of paper here. How about these crown pipes, baby? They're actually pretty good, man. Like I think I have one of them. I was impressed. Okay. It's sharp. It got real sharp. Get out and get you one. I don't think these are going to be $63 for long, boys. I just don't think that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up being some sort of like collector knives or something. This guy, him and his wife, they just run this company, man. Like, I mean, you could throw these things in a backpack and be good to go. You know what I'm saying? You probably wouldn't even need a pocket stone if you just kept this thing real sharp. Will she cut hair? Do I have hair to demonstrate with? My right arm is always the one that gets beat up. Ooh. You see, I was just barely touching it. I gotta be careful because it's actually cutting my hand. And the hairs are just jumping off. There's a big vein right there and I don't want to cut into it. But anyway, turn up my light here. This old Marauder too, man, it did the job for this video. You probably can't see it, but let's try it with the other arm. I'm not left-handed, so I can't really. Ooh, one swipe, man. Look at that. Barely touched it. It's a dang sharp. It takes a keen edge, boys. Now, is my pipe gonna taste funny with hair inside it? Okay. This KNAF right here, get you one. And I don't have a problem with the non-spay version, man. This is a sexy knife. There ain't much more I can say about it. Ooh, it's got a nasty tip, man. Let's see. All right, trust me. Tip is. Did I just cut myself? All right. Boy, is she crispy. I really like the flip action too. Oh, and it's perfectly centered, by the way. But it's like there's no big thing sticking out here for you to like grab, like a thumb stud or a hole or something. You just touch this little button right here. You just barely touch it. It's on roller bearings or some kind of brass phosphorus. I don't know. It's a cool knife, man. I think this might end up being a keeper. Super deep pocket carry clip action. So if you're not allowed to carry a knife at work, it just looks like a pin in your pocket, you know? Boy, that better not be a KNAF you're carrying in your pocket. Actually, it is. Another thing is you can reverse the clip. That knife, man, it's so cool. Next week, I'm going to try to do some of these. Almost died. I'm going to try to do some of these traditional knives that I picked up on my last deployment on like the street markets. Look at that, man. See the Chinese writing? Ain't that cool? I mean, these were like $3. I got a story about one of these. I went and bought one downtown. I was at like this little hardware tent. And I got like a rope and I got this knife. And it was like $3. Whatever the currency is over there. And anyway, real, that's what it's called. So I told my friends about it, my knife guy buddies. I was like, guys, this knife is freaking awesome, man. It's so nice and thin. I think it's carbon steel. I need to cut through some apples or something and see. But so we all go back to this little hardware tent, and I was like, holy crap, it was like $15. And I was like, what is going on? You guys jacked up the price. You know, I like this knife, and I brought all my friends back. I told them it was $3, blah, blah, blah. We're arguing back and forth. They're all getting like, the people starting to gather around. They're getting like, I mean, we're Americans. We're obnoxious, but I try to not be that obnoxious. But anyway, they all kind of gather around. This guy's getting all pissed off. And he's like, that's the price. And I'm like, all right, dude, we're leaving. So we left. And I kind of just started walking down the street. Down the souk. That's what they call them, the souks. It just means shops. And I was like, man, I came here to get that knife. I'm going to go back and buy it. Well, I go back and the guy was like, look, dude, I'll sell it to you for $3. And I was like, man, I'll just pay you the 15 or whatever it was. We made friends or whatever. And then we're walking down the souk. And all of a sudden, I see this hardware tent with these knives for $3. That was the tent I bought them from originally. So the one where I jumped all over the guy's case, that was probably always his price. But they all looked the same to me, all the tents, and I didn't know. I felt like the biggest jerk ever. But anyway, all right, guys. Man, look how cool that is. It's a really neat knife. Will it cut baby wipes? Probably, but that's a tough one. Oh, just barely dang touch it. I bet you I could shave with this. I'm gonna cut my face. That's dumb. Don't do that. And yes, it was grabbing. Yeah. Alright, guys. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Nah, I'm never gonna say that. I just did, but you know what I'm saying. It always annoys me when people do that. I think I did shave a little bit right there just now. Idiot, you already knew it cut hair.